several years ago, I made my wife, and I use the term maid loosely.
My wife.
I made her watch Airplane.
Okay.
Which is like the punniest movie of all time. And that's what that line is from.
Right up there with the Naked Gun movies, I'd say.
Very similar. Yeah. Well, it's Leslie Nielsen.
Yep.
It like became his thing. And she was just like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever watched. I was like, you just don't know. This is like, that's comedy classic.
How'd you hide your tears? Were you like...
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Dumb and Dumber is my favorite movie of all time. So,
wow.
You know, I get down with the dumb movies.
Well, Mel Brooks is a lot like that, like Spaceballs.
Sure.
Those are classics.
Sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of which...
Yeah, well, welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah, by the way.
We're going to talk about cars eventually.
Exactly.
Another pointless automotive podcast.
That's what we are. That's what we're doing.
Loosely affiliated with, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be here all week. Every week. Coming on Wednesdays. Follow along. Do all the things. So I know there's some stuff we wanted to discuss today.
Yes, sir.
You ever been to... What's the local dollar store over here? It's like Dollar Tree, like
Dollar Tree. I think there's Family Dollar too, or some of the more. I think I might be mixing. I might be bringing some of my East Coast historical.
Okay. Do they have different dollar?
You bet. Okay. There's true. Here's like I don't want to rant. Let's turn into F it. Let's rant.
Let's go.
So dollar stores should be dollar stores. Nothing in that store should be priced anything but 99 cents.
Sure.
Or 8.
Or multiple, or you get like 4 for $1 or whatever.
Right, something tied in closely to $1. But when there's like $5 things in there, I'm out. That's too blue for my blood. I didn't sign up for this. I've stepped out of my caste. I don't know how to say it. But there's like different ones everywhere, so you got to really abide by that. The Everything 99 cent store, you know.
Exactly.
Truth in advertising, that's your name.
Speaking of blue blood, you know what's a really surprisingly decent buy at the dollar store?
Ooh, what?
Windshield washer fluid.
But it's just water.
But no, it's literally, it's like the blue jug of like windshield washer fluid. Now it's not like the super nice, like quick dry, like whatever.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's also not vodka dyed blue, but it like, if you've got like the dash, like warning light, like your windshield washer fluid is too low and you don't want to put pure water in it.
Right.
Or if you want it to like, say it's not like semi-translucent, like cream colored, and you want the blue in the reservoir to shine through, you go to the dollar store, you pour one in. Every time I go to the dollar store, I pick up a jug of that for $1.
Is that a good deal for water with 2 drops of blue food coloring in it?
I mean, honestly, it's probably a good deal for water. I wouldn't suggest drinking it, but like if you were, it's like a gallon. It's like a gallon jug for $1.
I love the Rain-X stuff because you know where it actually rains. It's cool to have Rain-X sprayed up on your windshield.
That's true. It chases away the rain.
Yeah, for 2 weeks a year, I guess.
That's it.
Anyway.
So, dollar store, but while you're shopping at the dollar store, one thing you can't buy for $1 anymore is a fun car.
No.
Everything in this current marketplace is crazy.
Yeah, there's some secret stuff, but you gotta know a guy and you gotta know the insides. But what we're talking about...
Go ahead. I was going to say, should we spill the beans?
We'll spill the beans. Guys, we're talking about dollar store versions of enthusiast cars. Like, where can you still find, if you want that really nice thing that maybe cost you a couple buckos, where can you find the generic dollar store version of that car that's going to deliver some of the fun of that?
At least some of the same spirit.
Yeah.
For you're not getting for what's funny? I just had a quick realization. I was going to say you're not getting like filet mignon at the dollar store. I had a friend of mine who, when he graduated, Nick Fong, if you're listening, that's you. He got his master's degree from Cal State Hayward, now Cal State East Bay.
Yep.
And when he graduated, we went to his graduation, and we was like, oh, we gotta get him gifts. So me and my wife, we went to the dollar store.
My wife,
not then wife, then girlfriend, now wife. We went to the dollar store, and I got him of many dollar store items, including they had like the dollar store version of like Cool Water, and like different like colognes and stuff, like literally like our version of is what it said. And then, but I got him. They had literally had a steak, dollar store steak, and it was like perfectly circular. It was maybe a ½ inch thick.
Was it shelf stable? Was it refrigerated?
It had ingredients.
Was it in a vending machine?
It had ingredients.
Oh.
It was like cryovac, like completely like suction shut in like plastic, It was $1 from the dollar store.
That's outrageous.
And it was hockey puck like, and it was like maybe a quarter inch, maybe a half inch thick, and by maybe 3.5, 4 inches round. And it had ingredients. One of them I remember vividly being an anti-caking agent.
Oh!
Which is not usually what I get in my steak. So I got a dollar store steak, and that's what it.
We might have been missing out.
They had like a banner out front of the store, like steaks $1, and I was like, oh, to get that. That's for sure not. Yeah.
Usually that's a warning sign.
The entire thing. It looked like It looked like somebody sliced like a pickled beet. Like it was just solid beet red. The entire thing. There was no marbling, no texture.
Might not have come off an animal.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. So much like trying to purchase a filet mignon steak at the dollar store, we are talking about getting a hot, fun, interesting, enthusiast vehicle at the dollar store version. They might have an anti-caking agent. It might have a windshield washer reservoir full of dollar store blue juice.
If we're lucky.
What are you bringing to the table? What's your first offering for the dollar store version?
Let's do this. So the gourmet model is the Civic Type R.
I believe it's gourmet, but continue.
Gourmet, yes, or gourmet in this case.
Exactly.
Civic Type R. So wonderful car.
Great.
I would love to have one.
Great car.
You're probably in the
Unattainably great.
yeah, right. The 40K range right now. You want that. You want that Honda badge. You want that sporty handling. You want that front wheel drive hot hatch. You're gonna pay, but maybe you're not gonna pay.
Oh boy.
So I've got some options for you. I got two in this case because there's two very similar cars
Sure.
that will fit the bill.
Okay, I'm ready.
How about an Acura RSX Type S?
Great car.
You get a great manual. You get a high revving VTEC engine, 200 ponies, about whereabouts. I think that gets you there. I think that's your budget dollar store Civic Type R.
Maybe it was me, or maybe it was the circles I was running around in, but when that car was new and it came out, do you remember how freaking cool that car was?
I mean, it's still cool.
Oh, it is.
We're
But
talking-
when that came out, like some cars were cool, and then they were just like, whatever. Like Bug Eye WRX. When that car was out, that was the coolest.
It was
car.
hot fire white.
This car was also exactly. Daimler spit.
You don't want to catch it in this hot fire.
Exactly. The 5 greatest rappers of all time. You remember?
Daimler.
So, yeah, that car, I remember when that car came out. I had a buddy whose older brother had one, and he bought it. I don't remember if it was new or like freshly used, and it was rad. It was silver,
Cool.
gray leather interior, 6-speed Type S, and it was rad. And I remember at the time, he traded it in, or he sold it, and he got a then new, like 2004, 2005 4Runner.
Okay.
Which is a cool car,
Yeah.
very different. But I remember being like, oh, I was like crestfallen. I thought that the RSX was so cool.
You could get it with the A-Spec package, which was an appearance package that added the spoiler basically from the GTS Celica. Do you remember that same kind of spoiler? Crazy, like super angled body
I believe
kit.
they called that the action pack on the Celica.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Same-
that was
it was the same deal.
Awesome package.
But man, good trans, good engine. I think you're getting there. The other honorable mention, 8th gen Civic Si. So that would be the 2005 or newer, had almost the same engine, 200 horsepower, a great 6-speed manual.
Yeah.
And it's a Civic. I think that was pretty close.
Was that the 1. That's not the 1.5.
No, there were 2.
I'm not up on
there
my
were 2
more modern.
liters.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm not
2 liters,
super
200
up on my
horsepower.
modern Honda product.
But these were like, displacement to horsepower was like only attainable in previous Type Rs. And now you have the RSX with a 2-liter that had 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I got. Those are my dollar store versions. And look, we're not talking like they're not horrible. These are fantastic enthusiast cars in their own rights.
Yeah, and tell you what, I think if you right now, consider like the rising tide is lifting all boats right now, like everything enthusiast.
If you can find a clean one, buy it.
If you could find like a sub 50,000 mile 6-speed clean one, there is one out there. I don't know where it is, but there is one out there.
I feel like
you can
that's
scoop it for not a ton of
15K.
money,
Yeah,
I think that's incredibly well bought. If you can buy one of those and just take it to your local Cars and Coffee and baby it for 5, 6, 7 years, I think you're going to come out very, very well on the other end.
Civic SIs could come in.
Not Integra Type R, which one just sold last weekend for $112,000, and it makes you want to bury myself and never look back.
Crazy.
But that's a car that I think it hasn't had its day in the sun yet. And it will. I think
it will.
Really well mentioned on your part. 'Cause I think that's That's a great car.
And I think
it's underappreciated.
Yeah, the Civic SI, you get in a sedan with that manual.
Yeah.
I think they're a little cheaper. I've seen them for like 6 to 8 for decently clean ones. I think you should buy one now if you're gonna buy one.
Yep.
Because it's a wonderful power plant, great trans, and that's enough about that. But yeah, either way, you can't lose. So, what do you got for me, dollar store version?
So, dollar store version. I'm gonna skew older.
Okay.
So I wanted to find a really good dollar store version of the E30 BMW. However, that's actually kind of difficult. I think that's why those prices of those cars are really where they are.
Yep.
Because when you look at just the layout, the power, the build quality, it's really hard to replicate, and that's why ones are going for, what once was a $3,000 car are now cresting 20 if you've got the right one.
Yep.
And I'm not talking M3s, I'm talking just 325s.
Yeah.
Because there's not a great analog for that, I think there is a good analog, however, for the E28, which was the 5 Series of that same era.
Yes.
That was 1984, I believe.
I think
When did the E12 end?
I think it was parallel right with the E30, wasn't it?
It was like 1983, 84. 84 was the first year of the E30.
Yep.
To 1988.
Okay.
E34 landed in 89.
So
which is a great car in its own right, and I really like those cars. The E34 is great.
Yeah.
But that E28, those are commanding some real money.
Mm-hmm.
For just like not the Etta motors, not a 528, although those have value. Those are commanding a premium. Like a 535i with a manual is a big dollar car now.
So that's your pricey.
That's the not dollar store.
Okay.
That's the Ruth Chris. If
That's
you will,
yeah. That's your
of the steak.
That's your
I'm
filet.
gonna stick to the steak.
Yeah.
It might be my mistake in doing that, but I'm gonna go with.
It would be a tasty mistake.
Exactly. Did you say steak? So in the E28, the dollar store version of that is the MX60 series of the Toyota Cressida. And I brought up the Cressida in the past on this here podcast,
You do that?
as one does. But in its era, the hardest part to find the dollar store version of that is they made very, very few of those in a manual transmission.
So rare.
Versus the BMW, they sold a significantly greater percentage of those that were sold were a manual.
God bless them.
Exactly. So you can find them. They do exist. They are hard to find. If you can find a manual, that version of the Cressida was 1985 to I think 88. So not a huge run. 89, you got the later versions. Those were all with the 7 MTE, which is the 3-liter NA supermotor.
Yep.
Those were a little squishier. They were not as I don't think they were styled as well. They weren't as boxy, and they were automatic only.
Yeah.
And those motors had gasket problems.
Mm-hmm.
The earlier ones, the 2.8 liter, the 5 MGE, you can get it with a manual. In its era, that was they're like sports competitive sedan, rear wheel drive,
Right.
I think in those it was 156 horsepower, comparable torque. Get up the 5-speed manual, silky smooth inline 6.
Same size footprint as a
Same size
5
footprint.
Series.
The 5 speeds all came with, I believe, like adjustable sport suspension.
Mm-hmm.
So like you push the button and it would be sport mode, and it wasn't like modern like mag ride or anything, but it was an adaptive sport suspension, and so they had some sporty pretenses. They were definitely squishier than E28. But if you can find one of those, now that's on a lot of these dollar store ones, that's going to be the harder part, right? Like on your Type R, you can just roll into a dealership. Maybe not now because chips and whatever, but
Yeah.
in theory, you can just go buy a new Type R.
Sure.
You can't just go buy a super clean RSX Type S ASEC.
No.
Same with this. Like, you can find an E28. It's going to cost you a lot of money to find a good clean one with a manual.
You bet.
It might cost you $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 if you go really clean.
Super clean, low mileage for sure.
The nicest MX60 series Cressida with a manual, it's going to be the nicest one on the globe, unless it has like under 1,000 miles, is going to be, what's that, peak at 12? Maybe?
Say that.
For like a super, super, super nice one. And then if you want to get crazy, you want to slap a turbo off a Supra on it, or all that stuff bolts up, you can do it. So that's my dollar store alternative to the E28 BMW.
I like that.
MX, the 60 series Cressida.
Yeah, that's a good one. A rare one to source the dollar store version, but if you can find it, grab it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our general advice on that car. If you find the manual Cressida, buy it.
Yeah, factory manual.
Yeah, of
because there's a
course.
lot of goofball, you know,
Oh boy.
drifter special, you know, camber kit.
Yeah, we're trying to-
hella flush yo.
We're trying to avoid that.
17-inch dildo as a shifter, like modified it, just absolutely just weird parts in the wrong places.
I mean, when it comes down to it, do you get the dildo or the katana blade?
Ooh, the katana blade handle.
Yeah, where the blade.
If it's the blade itself,
well, it has the
that's
handle and then
problematic.
the blade going in, like it's the sword in the stone almost.
Well, you gotta be careful, like where you don't want to grab that thing and just like lose 4 of your fingers real quick.
No, yeah, no.
Go like seppuku or whatever it is, when you fall on your sword
It's
behind the wheel. Sorry, carry on.
good reference.
Yeah.
So our next one, BMW M3 Modern. So iconic rear-wheel drive sports car. Everybody loves an M3 twin turbo inline 6 nowadays.
Yes.
Pretty easy one. N54 powered 335i or 135i
Yeah.
will be your dollar store version, and prices on these are incredibly low. I'm not going to say it's a mystery why those prices are completely below where they should be, but honestly, just to hit the bad things first, obviously reliability, you got fuel pumps, you've got, I can't read my own writing half the time.
The entire cooling system.
Yeah, the cooling
fans,
system, I don't even know what else I put
lifter
here.
tick.
But there's lots of little things,
Yes.
you know, that come with that car. But you are getting that inline 6, you're getting a twin turbo power plant. The N54 is, I've heard it called the 2JZE, that was not quite right, but it is a very tunable engine.
Injectors.
Yeah, it can make huge power. I really wish I could read this T word I wrote down, if you can think of
Turbo
it.
problem.
Turbos, yeah, the turbos. The turbos get replaced all the time, thank you. I should have been a doctor, just based on
I
handwriting.
drive.
Oh my god. That's why you get the stripper model, right?
Yeah.
Without it, but if you get M Sport without iDrive, you're doing good. But honestly,
With a stripper. Carry on.
so you can swap in most of the M3 suspension components on these cars.
Yes.
So it would be the E90 series,
E90 or is it F12? I don't remember.
maybe the later
No,
ones.
that's the M5.
Yeah, no.
Whatever. Carry on.
Yeah, so your E90 stuff will swap over, but it's a hell of a car. They get tuned, and then they get even more unreliable. But
Window regulators.
dude, what a good price!
Mhm.
Like you can get those for like below 10. You have baseline 300 horsepower. You get a 6-speed manual.
Power steering lines.
Hey, wait, there's a reason it's at the dollar store. My
That's
friend.
true. No, you
How
got
much is a new M3?
several dollars.
Several.
Dollars.
Several.
Team
20s.
Pig knows, by the way.
It's a, but honestly, oh god, that's the other thing too. You get to save on embarrassing.
That's right.
Embarrassing looks.
Mhm.
But no, that's an easy one for me. Real quick.
Yeah.
Just go get yourself a 335 or a 135, which I actually like how they look. I like the 135 over the 2 Series. I'm gonna
Sure.
say it. I think the 1M looks
Yeah,
better.
I
than the
agree. You know
M2.
what? I agree. I
The
think
1M looks better.
I think objectively the 2 Series is a better looking car. I think like subjectively, I actually prefer the one. I prefer those 1 Series.
Yeah, the M2.
People, I remember in the era, people were like, oh, like they're kind of too bubble toppy, and kind of too jelly beany, kind of
Not the 1M.
proportions are one.
The 1M
They're a
looks
little
ain't.
wider because you got the flares and stuff. But I kind of like that because I think it's more of an it's a little more upright looking, which is more of like a 2002 throwback, which I think ultimately is what that car is.
Sure.
So circuitously, I agree with you. Yes.
Yeah, good.
Good.
All right, cool. Yeah, go get your 335i. Learn to wrench on your car or have some money set aside. You'll be just happy.
On that same thing, really, can I give you a budget? Can I give you a budget dollar store version, maybe the 50-cent store version of your pick?
Oh, yeah.
You find yourself a 128 with a manual.
Okay, yep.
128 with a manual, sport package or not, doesn't much matter. It's an NA motor. It's the last of the real like NA you can get with a manual.
Yep.
They're not a ton of money. You can probably get a super nice one for $8,000.
Yeah.
Maybe less.
You get M Sport too with the suspension upgrades.
Yeah, they did a sport package and sport package, all that, and I think it's good for 240, 230.
I think it's 220 and 220 range.
It might be.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, 220 something.
It
But
gets
it's a
up a
small
little bit.
car.
Yeah.
You can just drive the snot out of it. I mean, it's basically like it's like a true ZHP E46 330 right now. It's going to run you more money than that car is.
Just about,
I think
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's a better car. It's not the better looking car, but it's a good car. And
Get it
people
without
way
iDrive.
overlook that.
Get it without iDrive.
You can.
And without wood grain.
Yeah, if you can exactly. Yeah, wood grain is that a Isn't that a Mike Jones song?
Is it?
Getting brain from your Dane, whipping on the wood grain? I think it is. In the turning lane. That's what it is. In the turning lanes. So, yeah, you can do that. So that's my addendum to that, is if you want to go even more bargaining than that.
Undercut the dollar store.
Exactly. Exactly, yeah. We were deeply in the red. We are not
50
getting anybody here in the undercut dollar store. Speaking of undercutting, I might undercut you, because I know you well enough to assume that maybe you have Miata on your list. I don't know if you do or not.
Oh, it's my funny example, but go ahead.
So I have a Miata, and if you approach, maybe I'm undercutting and you're going to undercut me even further.
Let's see it.
So the Miata, the classic Miata, the NA, true NA Miata.
Yeah.
In its era, it had a competitor. A competitor by Ford.
Yeah.
The Mercury Capri XR2.
Oh, you went with the spicy model too.
You gotta go spicy.
Yeah.
Because, funnily enough, it's got a Mazda 1.6 in it.
Driving the front wheels.
Driving the wrong wheels. Compromises aren't. Remember the caking agent I discussed earlier with the steak?
That's the cake.
This is the caking agent. The anti-caking agent. I'm sorry.
There's no drive shaft going to the rear of this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
caking.
It's a 1.6 Mazda
Turbo
in the spicy version. That's the XR2, not the XR7.
The
Mazda
XR
was like.
We call it the XR Deuce here.
Yeah, exactly. Deuces are wild, especially when driving the front wheels of your Mercury. So yeah. Mercury Capri. That's a car that there's a couple out there somewhere.
Yep, they didn't make nearly as many.
No, they didn't make hardly that many. You had 100 horsepower base model.
Not a bad looking car though. It actually looks pretty cool. Pop-ups.
Pop-ups. I believe you can get it with I don't know if it's a base model or what, but the 3-spoke alloy wheels, the ever controversial 3-spoke wheels.
Those are cool.
Never on the turbo. The turbo version was the XR2.
Yep.
And you got, I think it was like 130 horsepower out of the turbo.
Yeah.
To the
it wasn't
wheels.
much more than an Miata.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if those are lighter than a Miata or not.
No,
probably not.
You think so? No.
Probably not. But it was a competitor of the time, and so here's the thing with a lot of these is it's going to cost you a lot less money. Like if you bought a nice one of those, it's probably going to cost you less money. Significantly less money.
Right now especially.
Right now, yeah. Because a very nice Capri XR2 is what, maybe $5,000?
It might not exist.
It might not exist, but that's the rub with you spend more time, less money, but more time trying to find one of these dollar store examples.
Yeah.
So you kind of spend differently.
Got to put the value somewhere, right?
Exactly. And so, but yeah, a clapped out NA Miata right now is $5,000.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Like clapped out.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's my dollar store version of the Mazda Miata. Another convertible, another Mazda powered 90s machine with pop-ups, front wheel drive, but dollar store.
You want to clean, if you want to clean NA Miata, which is a rear wheel drive manual roadster, you want to save some money? Buy a BMW.
Yeah.
Z3s are trending cheaper. And I'm talking like the 1.9s and
James
even
Bond
some of the
edition.
smaller, smaller displacement inline 6. Yes, you can get an early Z3 for about half the price of a clean NA Miata nowadays.
Yeah,
it's absolutely.
And I'm
wild.
surprised. I think we've discussed this before because I had a Z3 for an hour. I owned it for like a summer.
I want one so bad.
And they're good. They're good cars.
They are.
They're almost. I don't want to say pinnacle of BMW. But they were of like some of the best of BMW, best of the era as far as
Hydraulic
BMW.
steering.
Yeah, good hydraulic steering. They liked the rear ends like to get loose a little bit.
Fairly
it was basically E30 rear end.
Fairly light.
Suspension. Relatively light. They were built well. They were screwed together tight. As long as you kept cooling systems in them. And stayed on top of some of that basic maintenance.
Interior fell apart like it was no one's business. Glove box sag.
Kind of. Yeah,
they all did. You might have had a good one, but they all.
You have the trim panels up where it meets like the base of the windshield, like to peel back.
Yep.
But the motors are pretty tight. The gearboxes and the suspension are pretty good. There's parts out there, and they're. Let's face it, that's a good looking car.
Great looking car.
Like it's a long
ass hood.
that's a car where if they only made 2,500 a year with the styling, it would be like, oh my god, it's a collectible,
Right.
like a Z1 or anything. But that's one where like the styling is so unique, and it's the drivetrain. It's it's inline in the 6-cylinder ones, which was most of them. It's like
Yep.
a Miata with a 6-cylinder in it. I mean, it's not, but it's a kind of a unique place in the marketplace. And if they only made a few thousand a year, it'd
You
be
mean more
oh my
like a
God.
Z8, like more like
Yeah.
super premium because
Sort
it's
of,
so
you know.
so
And I mean, that's part of the reason a clown tube is mostly the same car.
true.
And I just imaged one that went on Bring a Trailer ended last week. It sold for $87,000.
Wild.
You're not getting $87,000 for a Z3 just simply just made too many of them.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's mostly the same car. So I'm right there with you. I think that's a better dollar store buy than my ZX.
This is the Bizarro
Zero
World
nonsense.
edition, right? Like, because you're getting a BMW Roadster for cheaper than a Miata.
I mean,
What a
what
world
was
we live in.
that Z3 was probably what 40% premium over Miata new,
I think way more than that.
maybe.
I mean,
at least
you
with
get a Miata
the
for 11 or
1.9.
12, and early NA Miata was 11 or 12. I can't see that being less than 30.
Probably the end of the run was probably less. Probably.
You think so? You think the 97
So,
Z3 with a
I know-
4-cylinder? I bet it was 30.
I know that
29,
that 2001 Z3M coupe with a sunroof and a big off. That's like the only option on it. The sticker on that was 45
Yeah, I bet they were 30.
in 01. So could have been. Could
So
have been
you're
30,
talking-
high 20s.
A magnitude of 2.5 times.
Yeah.
And now it's
Yeah.
half the price.
And exactly.
Where do you lose that value? Maintenance. Okay. Next.
I do, but I'd rather pay the maintenance on that than on that E90
Rather
that I just bought.
I'd rather have a Miata.
Yeah. Fair. I think they're different machines, but
Yeah.
I think, and that's why the Miata is commanding the premium. But in the dollar store, sacrifices must be made.
Yeah. Sometimes it comes with a German badge.
That's right. You know what else is in that same vein and brings a lot of money when we're talking Germania?
What do you got?
Some of those mid 2000s Q ships.
Yeah.
Like the V10 Audi S6, the V10 E60 M5.
Didn't we just get done talking about maintenance?
We did, and that's what's crazy with those cars is, they're 400 to 500 horsepower,
Yeah.
full size. The S6 is all-wheel drive. Big power, big this, big that, take up a lot of space.
Nice interior.
Feel strong, bolted together well. You know what the dollar store version of those, and I would say even something like the E63 AMG, like the earlier ones with the head stud issues.
Yeah.
Those
great.
make more power than the dollar store version. But again, sacrifices must be made.
Let's hear it. Let's hear
The
it.
fourth generation Ford Taurus SHO. That was, I think, like 2010
Right. With
to
the
2000. That was the 3.5 twin turbo V6
EcoBoost.
EcoBoost, 365 horsepower, all-wheel
Yeah.
drive.
What a sleeper.
What a sleeper! That's a car. Like I remember so much hype when those came out.
Yep.
They were hype. When's the last time you kind of like followed and paid attention to them? I mean, they exist.
Well,
but they're
weird.
not a thing.
When I'm
Well,
looking
that's-
for contour
that's
SVTs.
fair. Well, that's a horse of a different color. Maybe that's the E30 competitors
I don't wanna-
Contour SVT.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah, what I'm saying is it's like full size car,
Yep.
lots of room. You can get them well optioned with leather and all the things.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Design-wise, not a good-looking car.
It looks like a fleet vehicle.
It just the dimensions are wrong.
It looks like a detective should be driving.
The rear end's thicker than it needs to be. And usually it's, stay home if you're sick, come over if you're thick.
Yeah,
but-
thicker than a Snicker, if you will.
And they were all-wheel drive, so they abandoned the front-wheel drive history of the show.
Yep.
Which,
To be fair, I'm okay with.
Interiors were kind of,
Yeah, it's Ford Taurus.
But yeah, for power to cost, you bet, you can get those under 10K still, right?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, maybe a high mileage example. If I remember, I think those had issues with they had a silly name for it. Ford did, because that's what Ford does: fleet side, flare side, style side.
That power.
But they had issues with the what can't I think? Basically the transfer case. It's not a transfer case, but
Right, yeah.
they gave it some goofy name because that's what Ford does. But
You know
they had
what's-
issues with those blowing up.
You know what's a steal that I didn't even know about till my buddy was eyeballing one and asked me what I thought?
Fusion Sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So that gets rid of the
It's
look
the same
car.
drivetrain. Yeah.
It looks 20 times better.
Mhm.
Actually a good looking car. And it's kind of a sleeper. It's got some
Oh,
like
totally.
small sporty touches. That thing flies.
Yeah, so Ford Taurus, SHO, maybe the Fusion Sport, but
Yeah.
I'm sticking with the 4th gen SHO. Underappreciated, underloved, a little bit problematic, but again, dollar store.
Perfect.
Yes, you got another one? What else?
I do have a couple. I'll just shoot one out really quick. Camaro SS. You want a new Camaro SS, 465 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, iconic muscle car.
I do.
We all do.
Give it to me straight, though.
Real quick. Pontiac GTO.
Yeah.
You're talking 15 grand.
Holden Monero.
Yeah. LS powered,
Yep.
6-speed manual.
Check.
They look good.
Skip shift, but you deal with it.
F it.
Yeah.
For the
or
price.
just bypass it. But
Yeah, it's like a third of the price or less. So
Heck yeah.
go for it.
Yeah, they're a little bit more mundane, but I personally am okay with that.
I like the interiors. They match the gauge.
Yeah,
backing to the interior color or the exterior color.
Well, and yeah, you
That's
can get like purple leather on those. You can get red leather. You can get
Red gauge faces
you
that
get
match the red leather. That's hot. That looks.
Yeah, blue leather. You can get like blue on blue.
You get a blah punked radio from Australia since everything's from Australia there.
Blau punk.
Cool, right? It's a Holden. It's cool.
Okay. Can I shoot one more quick one?
Yeah, we'll allow it.
If you want yourself an early muscle truck, right? Ford Light, the OG Ford Lightning, or the OG Silverado 454 SS. Big dollar cars.
Now
they are. They're finally, and I think there's room to go on those. I think those.
Oh, they're not stuck.
Because they didn't sell a lot of them.
You forgot Typhoons. They're not muscle trucks, but you know what I'm saying. Typhoon, Cyclone. They're super.
Dakota RT.
Yeah.
Dakota RTs have not come up. They have a little bit, but they're not. You find yourself a clean Silverado SS, somebody's going to be asking 35, 40 grand for it.
Sure.
Which is, those don't have overdrive. Like they're flawed cars. The Dakota RT is a little less 90s-y. But I think they're the better car. They're a little smaller, comparable power.
Dollar store version. What do you got?
Dollar store version. No, I'm just saying the Dakota RT is the dollar store version.
You think so though? I feel like a Dodge. They're hard to find clean.
They are. They were all automatics.
They were.
Which is whatever.
I feel like that was more of a.
They're harder to find, but I think you could probably, if you can find yourself a decent one with some miles, but well kept for 10.
And you're a good hunter, or you get lucky when you're looking.
Sure.
And it's
But I think, like if you just like, I'm going to pull up, bring a trailer, and you're going to lose your lunch, but
you definitely will. It won't be a dollar store version.
No, I think they're out there. I think you can still get one. The dollar store version of that is the 1st gen Dakota, which you could get, or even the 2nd gen Dakota, which is when they made the RTs. But you can get that with the 5.2 Magnum, aka the Chrysler 318, which was a little bit less power than the 5.9 in the RT.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
No, it wasn't much. It was like a difference between like 220 horsepower to like 250. Like it was
a little torquier though.
For sure torquier than the 5.9.
Good
But in the 5.2, you can get it with a 5-speed. And it'll last, and that thing will scoot. And it's like 2-wheel drive. It's like a decent 5-speed. It's not. I mean, it's a truck, so it's gonna have a low first, but it's a 5-speed. And again, hard to find.
That's right. This isn't gonna fall into your lap like a dollar store deal. Yep. You're gonna do some hunting, but if you find
you gotta find that dollar store. It's not on it's not on Google Maps.
Not right off the highway.
No, you gotta go into the cuts.
Yeah.
Do you have any more dollar store versions? Because
I'm spent.
I
want to go on an adventure, man.
I do.
So let's transition. I think this would be a fun idea. We present each other with an automotive scenario, a challenging scenario, and then we, keeping it even more horrible and mean to each other, like we like to be with these challenges, is give each other like some options for vehicles to select. Most of which probably don't apply well, but you got to pick your poison in this case.
I'm down.
Cool, man.
I've got some madness prepared for you. What do you got?
I know you do. I know you have some tough stuff. So I'm going to start this off with no cakewalk for you, my friend.
Oh boy.
So you have, we've kind of already prefaced this one. This is kind of what I floated out to you. You have 3 days to drive across this entire beautiful country.
Okay.
Your choices for your road trip vehicle, my friend. A rock crawler Jeep, stripped out, fully built for slow rock crawling.
488 gears.
Yeah, top speed of 40 miles an hour.
4-cylinder, yes.
Yeah, that's option A. Option B, a low rider. So a 70s Impala, air suspension, crazy pinstriping, super nice. 20-inch rims.
Not going to 10-inch like Dayton mini spokes?
No, we're going bigger. Bigger style.
But more donk.
A little donkish.
Donk edition.
Yeah, donkish. And option C, a late 90s Honda Civic with the cut springs and shocks completely blown. We like to call this the, and we'll call this the Enthusiast Edition, where they got their lowering springs real cheap.
What's the exhaust situation?
Fart cam on the Civic. Yeah, I don't think there's an option.
Not Zen?
Like,
no exhaust.
Debatable.
Okay.
Could be rusted out.
We'll go full eBay max power parts bin special fart cam.
Yep, sounds like a beehive.
Here's the thing. Rock crawler is immediately off the table. I don't think I can make it in 3 days.
True.
Maybe going 40 miles an hour if I forgo sleep.
Yeah.
In our not cannonball run, our BB gun run here. Then it leaves me. I think I have to go with the Civic. I think I got to be part of Cut Spring Nation.
Yeah.
The Civic will at least, I will spend less money on fuel.
Right.
And while it might be probably more embarrassing than the lowrider as far as what's around me, I'm going for speed. I'm trying to get from point A to point B in 3 days. If I can cut it to less than that, I'm going to do it because I don't want any part of this road trip. I might be staying in no-tell motels, but this is what I'm doing. I'm going blown strut, Civic, fart can, underglow even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half the underglow works. Exactly. You're gonna need a mouthpiece to keep your teeth from chattering, but I think
brilliant.
I think you're a rational human being. That's a good choice.
Okay. Are you gonna weigh in on this?
I think I'm in the same camp. It's gonna it depends how cushy the lowrider is, because if it's a softer ride, maybe.
I imagine if it's a straight up lowrider, I imagine the ride on both of these are terrible. Maybe not quite as choppy because you get the longer wheelbase.
Way more fill ups too, right?
Yeah.
So that's the rub. Yeah, I go Civic. with you.
There you go. I have one for you, my friend.
Send it this way.
You have to have one of the following as a daily driver for a calendar year.
Oh.
A BMW Z3M Roadster with no top at all. Doesn't exist. You don't even have it to put up ever.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to caveat this with,
jeez,
you can't do anything to mitigate any of this stuff over the course of a year.
No impromptu tarp stretched.
No
over.
tarping. I mean, you can wear like sunglasses and a hat. Like that's okay. But you none of this gets parked in a garage.
You could wear pants.
None of this I'll just repaint it. No, that doesn't work here.
Okay.
So Z3M Roadster without a top.
Got it.
An NA Miata with only first and fourth gears.
Oh, okay.
That's it. No fifth. No second. No
Pretty
third.
tight gear ratios, but we can make it work.
A 2020 Rolls Royce Ghost, completely covered in swastikas made out of penises. Not actual, illustration.
Okay, wow.
Let's be square here.
There's some mixed messaging in there.
There is. So you get to pick your poison.
Oh God. Well, the Miata gear ratio, like I said, you can do the first and fourth swap. It's going to top out at probably 65, 70 miles an hour, probably.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
And again, this is a daily.
Yeah. The Rolls Royce is so tempting.
I know,
because once I survive a year,
you might get it. You'd have to roid up and because I feel like you'd maybe almost get assaulted on the daily.
But it would be it's dick swastikas. It kind of softens it.
It does.
Well, I mean, they're erect penises.
I mean, they bend in different angles, so I don't know. Your mileage may vary. That's nuance we care not to get into here.
Are there dicks?
But it is a 22 Ghost, which is like a fantastic $480,000 ultra luxury.
Are there non-Caucasian dicks in the swastikas?
Oh, yeah, it's multi. They're not all Aryan.
I'm gonna go with the dick Ghost. Yeah,
the Dick Ghost.
Yeah, the Dick Ghost. Dick edition.
Boy, you know what? I think I would have to do. I think I'd try my hand at the Z3M Roadster with just no top.
Here, I would get to do it.
But the problem is, it would be a nice car until a year later it would be absolutely ruined.
Possibly.
You'd have to have no mechanical sympathy, and you would potentially get ruined.
But so here in California, you're not really worried about weather too much. That's fine. Maybe a few days of the year you get rained on, but you're gonna get when it's 100 plus. You're
getting cooked.
Barbecue, dude.
Yeah. No, it's you'll have to go the pure zinc.
When I'm in that Rolls Royce, in that comfort, in that opulence, I don't care how many swastika
You just
gates are
turn,
on
you
the
just turn,
outside.
you turn the volume up. You know.
How good's the tint on the windows? I'm sure it's open up the privacy shades.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd have a hard time picking my kid up from preschool in it. But hey, I also would in a Z3.
Yeah, your kid would be on fire,
right? Yeah. So it's in all of these, there almost are no wrong answers.
Dick Ghost,
except for the Dick Ghost. Do you have another one of these for me, my friend?
Why am I aroused by this?
Exactly.
Let's see. Okay, cool. You have to complete a 24-hour endurance race.
Ooh, okay.
Option A, a Chevy Aveo automatic.
Oof, okay.
Got 105 ponies in that.
I have to complete it too? I don't know if I can make the finish line. Carry on.
Option B, a 1980 Cadillac Eldorado with a 6-liter V8.
That was a 6-liter in 80?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the 4.1. Sorry, carry on.
6-liter, big V8. 145 horsepower.
Yes. Yes.
That's a
4,000 RPM right now.
Okay, SR20 has that much power, 2-liter. Option C, Geo Metro manual. So it's like 48 to 50 horsepower. So there you go, your choice.
3 or 4 on the Metro. Still on the count. It's a 1 liter or 1.3?
It's a 3.
The 1 liter. Okay.
Yeah.
The G10.
So you got.
Where is this taking place? Is this on a track or is this?
Oh yeah, it's an endurance race. So let's go Laguna Seca or Thunder Hill. Your choice. You get.
I gotta go Laguna Seca because it's gonna be a little cooler.
Yeah, maybe it's been hot. I've been very hot track days out there. Because it's up on the hill. And you have no height.
That transmission's gonna blow up, but I'm going Metro.
Yeah, well, you
I
get
like the sound.
It's the only row your own option too.
Exactly. So I have to, slow. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Easy. Metro. Layup.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you thinking?
You're gonna be the slowest guy on the track.
Storm that Aveo with an auto.
No, it's so.
I don't know.
Well, it's double the horsepower, man.
Fair.
I guarantee the 0 to 60 times like significant quicker. I would go. That's a tough one because rowing your own. But during a race, I might just take the Aveo in this case.
Depends though. If you know you're going to be completely non-competitive,
dude,
just float around the track in an elbow.
Can the Geo Metro make it up that back like hill climb before you go into the corkscrew?
I mean, it's second.
I don't even know if it.
I think it would do it.
You might have to crawl mode it up there. The Cadillac Eldorado would be the absolute worst. You would go off the first corner.
You would fall asleep.
You would.
Yeah, you would DB the tires on the first turn and then fall asleep in the gravel.
I bet the Aveo was quicker 0 to 60 than that car.
It probably, you know what? I bet you. Which would be the most competitive? Probably the Aveo.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is 3 obviously horrible choices.
Yes.
I do like your choose the manual edition. That's tough. That's a tough call, but I think the Aveo is going to be the more. I'm going to win, dude. I'm not going to a track day to do point buys all day.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think that's happening no matter what.
I mean, yeah, agreed. Unless everybody else in the field is having to choose from the same car list.
I've got one for you.
Let's hear it.
A car to live in for a calendar year. These I'm knocking out the long term situations here, the long term scenarios.
Yeah.
First. The long plays are going for a 100 series Land Cruiser with a high quality rooftop tent. Okay. A 1978 Toyota Dolphin. Or Chinook. Let's go Chinook. I prefer the Chinook.
Yeah.
The smaller one with like the pop top that goes straight up. Or a 2020 Audi RS6 Avant. No rooftop tent. Okay. You gotta sleep in the Avant, but you're allowed a moderate to small rooftop box to like store clothes and wares in.
Okay, like one of those Thule like trap.
Yeah.
And you have to live in it for a year.
For a calendar year.
Do you have to move around at all, or you park and stay?
I suppose you don't have to.
I'm gonna go.
I think it depends on your selection. If you don't want to move, you probably go Toyota, Dolphin, or Chinook. Yeah. If you want to be on the move and maximize your vagabond experience, then you've got 2 different options depending.
Yeah, the Audi covers ground very fast, very good looking car. I gotta go with my heart, 100 Series Land Cruiser, because I can literally go anywhere I want to go. And if I don't want to sleep in the tent, there's plenty of room in the back of that vehicle.
Things to consider.
Oh,
the potential for like hardcore like content creation in the RS6 that you live in. Be the guy that like, I travel the globe and live in my RS6 and I sleep in it and I've got a box full of my goodies on top and this is what I do. I mean, whatever, you don't have to do that. You can live in a Chinook or whatever, but And you can do that in the 100 series too, with just a little bit of a different flavor.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good following for the
I think I would do the RS6.
I would too. I think they get the same fuel economy, the 100 series and the RS6.
Probably, and I would say for various pinched nerves and things, I think the rooftop tent's a little bit more luxurious and sleeping in the back than RS6.
True. Yeah. And definitely, and the interior space in the Land Cruiser obviously way more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cool, man.
Okay.
Those are two good stereos. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No horrifically fascist general options on this one.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe you've got that coming my way. What's your next scenario you'd like to propose, sir?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. You are a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
You need a rough and tumble farm truck
That's what
to
it
do
does.
your daily duties.
Sure.
This isn't fake farming. This is real
It's
farming.
a real deal.
Option A, a Subaru Baja Turbo.
Ooh, Baja Turbo. Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Option B, Chevy El Camino SS.
Ooh. Okay.
Option C,
Do I get to pick the year of the El Camino SS?
yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay.
Cadillac Escalade EXT. Those are your options, friend. Baja Turbo, El Camino SS, Cadillac Escalade EXT. You're a farm. This is gonna get
Exactly.
hay.
I gotta put
It's
my-
gonna have goats born in the back.
Hey now.
I think that's what happens.
Like I don't have goats born in the back
You will.
already. I think I have to. I hate to say it, I think I have to go Cadillac.
Yeah.
I'd love to go Baja with a manual, but the bed is super small. The back seat's small.
The Escalade's very small bed too.
It's bigger than the Baja though. I guarantee
Right.
that.
Right.
And it's gonna have the ground clearance and the big honking V8 to like pull stumps and do all the things. Those had a true like high-low four-wheel, right?
It was an Avalanche basically. So
Right, but yeah, okay. It wasn't like the Silverado SS or whatever.
No. Yeah.
Where it was all-wheel drive. And
Right.
Okay. I didn't know if they did that for the.
Okay. I don't think so.
I have to go to EXT. The muscle car head in me would love like a 65 SS.
How cool would that be?
with
Throw some
a
hay in the back.
4-speed or something, but it would just get killed. It would get killed in the first month of my, apparently birthing goats. So, yeah, I'm going EXT. What's your thought on this?
I'm going Subaru Baja Turbo.
Okay.
Because I think the Subaru is going to hold up interior-wise anyway. You're going to be getting in and out of this thing with all kinds of questionable manure on your body. So I don't know if the leather in that Cadillac's going to hold up too well to that abuse. Whereas a crappy Baja, you can rinse it out.
Right.
So I would go with the Baja, and I do like the all-wheel drive turbo powertrain. Yeah. So I think, Cadillac's very close there because it is basically a rebadged Avalanche, but I just don't think it'll hold up as well.
Perhaps. Are you ready? Are you ready for another one?
Let's do it.
Toss you on your way. How about a car to take on the next Driving While Awesome Coastal Range Rally?
Oh boy.
For those who are not in the know, they've got their own podcast that's Driving While Awesome, guys. You should probably check it out. I know they're not listening to this, so I could talk smack if I wanted to, but I can't. They're actually a pretty good operation. And they do what they call a Coastal Range Rally here in California. It takes place over a couple of days, goes up some really cool roads, really fun time. I've been trying to go on it for a while, hasn't happened, hopefully sooner than later. You get to pick one of the following 3 vehicles to take on this kind of vintagey inspired, or 80s, 90s, early 2000s inspired coastal range rally.
Okay.
A very, very clean but completely stock early 80s Mercedes 240D diesel.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sedan, 4-speed or 5-speed manual.
Wonderful fuel content.
Unrealistically slow. Reliable as a hammer.
Robust.
And clean and comfortable.
Okay.
An American General DJ5 dispatcher with Honda S2000 drivetrain swapped. However, stock wheels, tires, suspension.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know what a DJ5 dispatcher is, that's the straight up male Jeep. Not the current one, but the old school one.
Yep.
Right hand drive.
Still being
Tiny
used in a
little
lot of
Jeep.
rural areas.
Yeah, some spots have them. Or a perfectly nice Ferrari F50. However, you have a collection of a half dozen young kittens in the car that you have to look after, and they're just free roaming in the car the entire time.
Dude, you sweetened the Ferrari pot. I love kittens. So
Yes, but imagine going on like a switchback road rally with just heel towing with kittens in the car for multiple days.
As long as they don't, if I can keep them, I feel like I've definitely, here's the backstory. I've road tripped with a couple cats in the car, free roaming, like laying across the dash, doing everything. As long as they're not into the gas pedal, I'm okay with it. Ferrari with kittens.
Kitten Ferrari?
Final answer.
Ferrari?
Ferrari. It's going to be a litter box.
And it's an F50.
Yeah, it's a Ferrari kitty box, litter box edition.
I maybe should have added that the F50's on loan. And
Okay.
And you have to return it, like, you know.
Yeah, as long as you don't have to clean it. I'd say Ferrari kitten edition.
Kitten Ferrari?
Yeah, and then back, probably the first one. I'd probably go with.
You're not doing the S2K swap dispatcher?
No, because you said stock suspension. I would go off and
it's right-hand drive.
I'm good with that one. So yeah, probably Ferrari for sure. How about you? I know you're going with the S2000 powered.
I don't know. You see, when I put this, I was like, ooh, like I kept like waffling back and forth. I don't think I can do. I would be so lost in the woods trying to like babysit a half dozen very young kittens. It wouldn't be, not to say it wouldn't be adorable, but I would be so paranoid about accidentally like stomping a clutch pedal and just like making a young kitten shed its mortal coil into the interior of an F50.
Yeah, but you have 6 times to do that. You're not going to do it that many times.
Good news, guys, I completed the rally. Here's one kitten.
Yeah. His name's Enzo.
Exactly. He was the survivor. I think oh man, I think I gotta go 240D.
Okay.
It would be brutal because you'd just be matted the entire time. Because I've driven one of those. I drove a 77 with a manual, and it was in good shape. It was under 200,000 miles, and it was catastrophic.
But yeah, you wouldn't fail. You wouldn't have an engine failure. You'd have no reliability.
You'd make it. You'd show up to camp like 3.5 hours after everyone else. And if you're okay with that, then that's fine.
You always go for the D when you can.
Yeah, 240 times. It's super clean and boom, stock. Do you have anything else or?
No, but I have a quiz prepared for you.
Ooh, can I give you one quick bonus?
If we can do a quick one, yes.
It's quick. Here's the also ran.
Let's hear it.
You need to pick up a slightly drunk Jerry Seinfeld from the local international airport and take him on a 1-hour drive. Here are your choices and which vehicle to do that in. A Fiat Multipla with my neck, my back at medium volume stuck on loop the entire time.
Nice.
A chrome-wrapped Tesla Model X with Muskrat Love Song by Captain and Tennille on loop the entire time. Or a very stock and very clean FD RX-7. However, you have to spend the entire 1-hour-long drive rambling about how Mazda built that car to be a Porsche 911 killer, and that in your opinion it has succeeded on multiple fronts. And you cannot waver from that position and cannot stop talking about it the entire drive. The choice is yours.
I gotta go RX-7 because the other ones have horrible background music. And I think that's a good stance. I think you can take a strong stance on the RX-7, but even though you're riding.
Jerry might string with you halfway through that ride, though.
Or he might be a convert. Maybe he'll go pick up a clean FD, or if he probably has a few.
Stop talking about the RX-7.
I think great car.
It is a good car, but
I can defend the RX-7. I'd be driving a really clean RX-7. That's what so who cares at the end of the day? He gets out. At least I got to drive a really nice RX-7. They're hard to find to drive nowadays.
However, I would do the Fiat Multipla with my neck, my back on loop.
I mean, it's a great song, but because you said medium volume, so that's pretty hard to have a conversation over.
That would be okay.
You're gonna block him out.
I think the comedian in Jerry Seinfeld would maybe
for 5 minutes.
He could. Well, the fact that it's on loop and that you get to the destination.
You said an hour long.
And maybe you just like we asked him, like, can we do something about this music? And you could just be like, you just say. I don't know what you say, but you have something that you can't exactly. Oh, it's just broken. Sorry, Jer. Like I don't know. But okay, so we went 2 different directions.
Well, you know what? On that note,
yes,
I owe you something.
Yeah, come at me, bro.
I owe you an automotive print ad quiz.
All right.
Name of the game is unknown. We'll just call it print ad quiz. But I will be reading a print ad from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. In which case. I read it, leaving out all the obvious giveaway words and clues. Frank has to try his damnedest to guess what vehicle I'm talking about, what obscure piece of automotive history I'm trying to resurrect here. And if he doesn't get it, each time he fails, I will give him, if he does, I will give him a hint to help him along, but here's the deal. Play along at home.
Please do. I'm ready.
Here's the ad. I'll describe the physical description of the ad. It has a large vehicle in red. It's just a large image of the vehicle. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a large vehicle. Across the top it says turbo.
Turbo. Okay.
I think you got this one, buddy.
Let's see.
So blank. If you'd rather have a 5-speed stick than a 7-course meal, this, underlined, is your car. It's a sporty beauty with the look of a winner and the performance to back it up.
Okay.
Assuming that's that ass.
Could be. Depends on the Volvo C30 final answer. No.
Technologically advanced turbo power plant. Here you go, buddy. A spirited 1.8 liter fuel injected, turbo powered, have you heard turbo yet?
Yeah.
Engine with 2 spark plugs per cylinder delivers responsive performance. Blank attacks curves, an independent rear suspension, stabilizer bars, front and rear radials, power rack and pinion steering. Cool, that's how it gets through corners.
Yeah.
Want comfort with your performance?
I do.
You've got it. 5-way adjustable driver's seat, full instrumentation, John Davis maybe.
That's right.
Easy shifting 5-speed trans, 6-speaker digital stereo, power windows, mirrors, even a vocal warning system. That's a little tip there. It's a standard package that could cost you thousands extra on other cars. Blank quality. The newest anti-rust protection techniques
Ooh.
and a quality inspection system second to none means your blank is built to last.
Oh boy.
Share the thrill. Ask your blank dealer for a test drive in the exciting new blank. You'll agree this car is a major motivation or a major motion in a hurry. It's a weirdly phrased sentence.
It is, but I'll take it.
Come alive, come and drive. Blank.
Come alive, come and drive.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I've never seen that. Like,
Ooh.
a lot of tech specs in there, buddy. What are we talking about?
Ooh, boy. So we have a few options here. The 1.8 turbo, 5-speed manual. It's 4-wheel independent suspension, a whole bunch of stuff like that. Front and rear sway bars.
Yep.
Twin spark. It's very intriguing.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't hear it specify front or rear wheel drive.
I don't think it did either.
Okay. 1.8 twin spark. I can't think of a single Toyota product that would fall into that with a turbo attached to it anyways. I can't think of a Mazda product. I don't think Subaru had anything with a 1.8 twin spark. I don't know about Mitsubishi. I don't think the Cordia was a 1.8. I think that might have been a 1.6, but it might have been a 1.8. There's could be an earlier-ish Nissan 200 SX. I don't know if that was a twin spark engine. That was, what was it? I think the CA18T? And then domestic, or European for that matter. Wasn't a whole lot of turbocharger coming out of European. Had a Europeania in this era. I'm going to, the one that comes to me with the turbo and all this, I'm going to go with Nissan 200 SX. Final answer, Bob.
Okay.
I'm shooting my first shot.
So out of all the ads we've done so far, this might be my favorite just because it has turbo written across the time and it's actually gorgeous. How cool is that?
R's and B's and such. No, that looks sharp.
Cool.
Major motion from Nissan.
That's why I thought you'd get this because you know a little bit about these period cars.
I wasn't sure about the twin spark though.
Right, but the
I know those early motors were kind of interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure. I was thinking maybe Cordia or something too. Mitsubishi Cordia turbo.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of 1.8 turbos at that time, right? So there was.
Yeah. Toyota had the 2-liter stuff. Mitsubishi the 2.6 and the Sirius engine. I think think they did. I think the Cordy was a 1.6. I'll have to.
I think it was too. Yeah.
But I don't think twin spark. Either way, hey, look, we went back to back.
One shot.
Twitter. Yeah.
1 shot, 1 kill. Perfect, man. Cool. So you know what we should follow up to celebrate?
We should probably abuse hard street drugs.
Yeah, some kind of recreational celebration here.
Some PCP.
PCP, Project Car Progress. Lead us off, man. What have you been doing for PCP lately?
Well, I have not the BMW from last week. I haven't gotten into yet. That'll be a story for another day. What I have gotten myself is I've gotten myself in trouble, my friend.
Yona.
I also kind of have my eyes on another vehicle. That's over with my car donation client.
Oh boy.
And it's a mild project, but it's a very intriguing one as a good new little daily commuter pack miles on situation.
Wow. Okay.
This is a 2004 Honda Civic hybrid with a 5-speed manual.
Okay.
98,000 miles.
Pretty fresh.
Hybrid system seems to be pretty well. It's got a couple of weird little gremlins. Hence why I would be able to scoop it. Hopefully, I'm still working on the details. Hopefully, be able to scoop it for a very reasonable price. One of them is it has $100 in back duty and DMV fees because it was parked in 2018.
That sucks. Didn't put in non-op. Yeah.
Nope. Another one is it has a power steering issue. It's electronic power steering on this thing. It's an EPS rack. Because the hybrid system engine shuts on and off, and they want to make sure you still, turn the thing. So the EPS system, it will if you're driving on the freeway and you turn the steering wheel 15 degrees in either direction and just let go, it won't self-center. We'll just hold it there.
Huh.
Which it doesn't sound like that big a deal, but then you drive down the freeway for a while.
Oh, it's a big deal.
And it doesn't. It's unrealistically annoying. I would maybe be able to get used to it, and the fix is I looked online. There's a stored code in the system for some sort of input signal issue to it.
Sure.
But there's no surefire fix to it. Some people are you have to replace the entire rack, which is really expensive.
I was gonna say.
Other people are no, the rack's fine. You just have to replace the controller because it's got a standalone ECU for the EPS unit.
Okay.
And other people are no, you have to replace both of them. And other people are oh no, you just have to clean the comp. There's a dozen different theories on what it's going to take.
Yeah, the forums are fun.
Yeah. So it's got that. It's got an idle air control valve fault, and the idle's kind of wonky. And it's got a evap purge valve stuck closed fault.
That's a Honda thing.
But it managed to pass smog, so the smog is done.
Oh, that thing probably.
But now it's storing all these codes. But it's sat for 5 years.
How much do you mind me asking? What was the price again? Did you?
I don't know yet. I'm still working on the details. If I can get it for sub $2,000.
Yeah, I would say come in under that. Yeah.
Then we'll see, because some of that stuff it's already smogged. I can drive with the other stuff. I'll probably pull the idle air control valve apart, clean it up, put it back together. Just
they're pretty
rock
cheap.
it back and
Honda,
forth.
that's like a Honda
I
thing.
think rock Honda $300, which is a deal breaker.
Is that for OEM?
No, aftermarket. So I don't know. I just very cursory homework I've done on it.
Maybe find a good one.
And the tire, and it sat for a long time. The tires are kind of rotted out. So they've got good tread on them, but they're kind of dry rotted a little bit. I want to change those out. Street value on the car, it's under 100,000 miles. The interior is incredibly clean.
Well,
the body's straight.
Animated.
It's like that kind of mint, super light blue, silvery color.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got those cool hybrid only broad 5-spoke alloy wheels.
Right.
So it's kind of and in theory it will get 50+ miles a gallon. And it's a manual, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can scoop it for nothing and drive it around instead of getting 17 miles a gallon out of my van.
Yeah.
And I get 50+.
As long as the gremlins,
if I can mitigate the gremlins.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one because if you get stuck with it, it's kind of a turd. It might be kind of hard to unload. You know how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. So I'm hopefully as soon as tomorrow, certainly by the end of the week, we'll either have that in my driveway or have moved on.
That's awesome.
So that'll be an update for next week.
Cool.
But that's the problems update.
Yeah.
That I'm getting into. Project car problems.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
Project car progress. What kind of problems and progress are you making?
Same stuff. I haven't been doing too much around the shop space, but working on the Mercury Tracer, getting that ready to go. I'm probably going to do a review in the next, I'd like to say, week or two.
Sure.
Which will be super fun. Super fun car to drive. 5-speed manual. It's all Mazda, powertrain powertrain, drivetrain. So
yeah, buddy.
that makes it reliable. Cool car, rare car. So that'll be kind of fun. And then get back in this BMW. I know I've already put the water pump in it, so it's just putting the timing belt on. I've already replaced some of the seals. Valve cover's coming up next.
Cool.
So it's a fantastic example. It's just, you know, they fall behind on deferred maintenance whenever a car sits or, you know, gets up in the mileage. So just going over, refreshing that engine bay, and then we get some fun stuff. Like I can't wait to straighten out the front like valance and splitter area.
And that reminds me. Hold on. In my bag of tricks right here. Hold on.
He's brought parts for me.
I got something for you, kid.
You're not trying to jack me off, are you?
No, not yet. But I do have.
Mini
Grip
brake
that
handle.
mini brake handle.
How about that?
Look at that. The other one's got a big old crack down the.
You think
length.
it slides right on? Probably not. I'll figure it out.
You just spit on it, it'll go right on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take it to dinner first.
exactly. But you know, it's you know, piece by piece. Oh, and I have the jack too. I got the 4 jack in the van.
Okay, so you're gonna
The freebie jack.
you gotta give me the hand
Yes, of course.
jack.
On or off.
Very
But
sexual parts here.
yeah, I think that's all good.
It's
So
getting there. This thing's gonna be awesome. And once I get the full utilization of my hand, I'll get back in there and tighten it up.
Sure.
But I like taking my time with it. Like I said, I clean the surface area under the timing belt, make sure the water pump goes on
Yep.
well.
Yep.
Those kind of things. I don't like doing jobs like this twice. Ask me how.
Oh no.
I know that. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's such a good car. And we're doing like everything. So we're doing like the gauge cluster that's still out. So
Yep.
that's probably gonna be the last thing to come back actually. So
Gauge cluster. Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
probably, hopefully that'll be it. It'll be button it up, watch that thing light up like a Christmas tree, and hopefully in all the good ways.
yes.
And then, and then she'll be ready to go. We'll do a whole bunch of video work, whole bunch of photo work. I'd like to really shoot the moon as far as what we can do on that front.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun review. It's very rare to find one in this condition and document it and archive it and with a good review and see what she still has for performance numbers, because I think that speaks a lot for the overall condition of a car. You know, you can show it idling, you can show like pictures all you want, but like see a car go around corners and to be accelerated, whew, it won't let us down.
I dig it.
Yeah, I'm pumped. So that's PCP. Good job with the quiz again.
Yeah, I know. We went really difficult for a little bit there, and now we've kind of gone the pendulum has swung the other way, and we both knocked it out.
Yeah.
So we'll have to find a middle ground here. But
Feels good.
exactly. A Diasu Charade episode coming up soon.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I might be all over it.
Might be it.
But yeah, thanks for joining us again, guys. Feel free to subscribe. Look us up on the tubes, the grams, any other kind of social media.
Wherever you get your own podcasts. But that's it. You know, hide your kids, hide your wife, tell your friends, and coming out next week because we're doing it all over again.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch you next time. Take care.
See ya.
Peace.